was a good
Comedy Store
arena sound. That was a
podcast.
good arena sound.
Was it?
That is the sound of laughter in the arena, though.
Well, you would know, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, that's amazing.
And then
What's the biggest arena you've done so far with it?
I think probably the Red Rocks Theater.
Where's that?
It's an amphitheater in Denver.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
It's normally, it's for the most part, it's a music venue, but every so often, I think maybe like twice a year, they have comedians there. Mm-hmm. And I did with him maybe 3 years ago. But recently, the Tacoma Dome. Tacoma with Joe and Dave.
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
They broke, not me. And I don't take credit for any of that. I just say, well, I held my own.
I'm sure you killed it, but yeah.
But no, nobody came to see me.
Right. You're saying they sold the tickets.
They sold the tickets. But then, we all
broke all the records?
They brought the attendance. They broke the attendance. They fucking ran out of beer.
Oh, that's
you don't know what to expect. That's like going to, that's like some crazy, that's like going to do a black comedy night and then they run out of wings and Hennessy. The management has to be fired.
I got to be honest. We lost our liquor license here at the Comedy Store years ago. Just some dumb Halloween party that Paulie threw, and they wound up showing up and giving us a mark. So we had to do 10 days no liquor. And this is like 90s, late 90s.
Right.
And it fell on a Fat Tuesday.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
They were upset, right?
Oh, boy.
No, Ciroc! No, Ciroc!
What you mean we can't get Hennessy?
What you mean we can't get apple we can't get an apple martini?
It's a good thing I'm a street fighter because that shit went down that night.
How do you think it affect comedy? The comedians, did it make a difference with the audience in regard to the...
Of course.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, people,
so many comedians
aside from people being furious...
A lot of comedians weren't funny without the alcohol, right? It's like, whoa, you suck, bro.
Didn't Chris Tucker's mom try to open a comedy club?
They did it in... This is the story I heard.
And it was no alcohol.
No alcohol. But they had alcohol. And this is the story I heard. And I don't know the truth behind it, whatever, but heard it from a couple places. That because I don't know if Chris Tucker is a Jehovah's Witness or something super religious.
No, his mom's very religious. Yes,
Yeah.
they're very...
And Chris Tucker went into place and took all the beer and went out back and all the liquor and started smashing it up.
Oh, I don't know about
Needless to say, that club is no longer in existence.
I believe that, yeah. Chris, I remember when he first got here, because he came like 93, 94, right after he did Def Jam, he did all that. And Mitzi fell in love with him right away.
He's one of those guys.
So likable.
So likable and just so animated and just, like, you see certain people and you just tell that they're superstars.
That was the only comic I saw become an overnight success.
Yeah.
Quick.
And
like,
it was.
He was young.
In
He
fact,
was a kid.
His start was they had this big comedy competition in Oakland called the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition.
Uh-huh.
And this was back when Def Jam was really popping. And for the most part, people that did well on that, they went on to do Def Jam and do some other things. But when Bob Sumner, who was a talent executive for Def Jam, when he saw him, he saw Chris. Chris only had they told him straight, they said, he only got 7 minutes.
I know it.
You know what I mean? But the 7 minutes he has would change his life.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys. Back then, Def Jam was like, you could have a catchphrase, next thing you know, you're overnight success.
Amazing.
You can have a standing ovation, next thing you know, you have an overnight success. And I remember certain people were just explosive on that show. And when Chris Tucker came out there, and the first thing on his words was, pissed off, man. He said, pissed off.
Same time, motherfucker.
Yeah. He said, pissed off, man. He said, I'm so broke. If a nigga robbed me, it'd just be practice, right?
My favorite joke.
And it's like, you're not too
so
many.
dumb.
Not too many comedians can have the type of persona or even a set to be able to destroy.
Yeah.
In the first sentence. A perfect example of a person that did that for me, and I hadn't even done comedy yet. I was just a fan of comedy. And I'm in D.C. I'm laying in the bed with this chick because that's what I do.
Okay.
And
I'm feeling you.
In D.C. You know what I'm saying?
Not much to do in D.C. Everybody knows that.
Just lay up in the bed and watch specials. And I was watching the special, and I didn't know who Martin Lawrence was.
Really? Wow.
Never. This would be right when he was breaking. This was with the You So Crazy
yeah,
special.
Sure.
That's the one that broke him. And I'm laying in the bed, and it said, HBO, give it up for Martin Lawrence. And he came out there, he had that energy, he had that look. You know what I'm saying? That swag, like you knew something was about to happen. And then he said, give it up for a motherfucker making money the right way. When you making money the right way, you can tell your lady shit like, shut the fuck up. And she'll shut up too. She'd be like, you so crazy. And I was in the bed,
so
right?
Crazy.
I stopped the activity that I was in. And I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
I love that.
And then the next thing you know, he was hosting Def Comedy Jam. He had the Martin Lawrence show. He did House Party. And next thing you know, he was a household name.
My first ex-fiance was Martin's
Did you say
agent.
your first ex-fiance?
Yeah.
How many first? I mean, how many?
A couple. I have a couple.
Okay.
I'm not a closer, Donnell. All right.
That's
guys.
definitely
Donnell
that's some definitely white girl shit. My first ex-fiance.
Hey.
You know, like no, my first ex-baby daddy is my culture. But my first
I would never carry the full term.
That's hilarious.
No, Bill Branco was my first ex-fiance, and he was Martin's agent.
Okay.
And he got fired from William Morris for catering to the black clients. That was his. They said there's no money.
So he
black
was Black
comics.
Lives Matter before Black Lives Matter, before he
Way
got
before.
shot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So they were like, there's no money in it, and he's like, these guys are talented. You're missing it. You're missing it. They fired him. He wound up working out of a garage. All the black clients left with him. It was Martin Lawrence, Chris Rock, Joe Torre, Del Givens, Tommy Davidson, and Russell Simmons, who had this weird idea
for Def Jam. But see that the weird.
Isn't that crazy?
No, the funny thing about that was Russell Simmons knew, like, the Chitlin Circuit has been in existence forever.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I started in the Chitlin Circuit. You know,
For
if
real?
you don't know what the Chitlin Circuit is, basically
You think
shows,
they still exist? They don't still
Oh,
exist.
no, 100%.
Really?
100%. Like, they're not not specific clubs, but when I say Chitlin Circuit, I mean, like, okay, down at at Dre's Bowling Alley, they have Explosion Comedy Night. Anytime you put Explosion or Death or anything, I don't care what anybody says, it's black comedy.
I agree, and I love that.
And Russell Simmons, along with Bob Sumner, they realized that there was a void. They realized that,
absolutely.
They realized that if you watch comedy on TV, back then it's like you had HBO specials, and then the only other platforms were like Letterman, you know what I mean, those other places. And how often did you see a black person on any of those shows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not too often. And then if you saw it normally, like Letterman and all the late night talk shows, if you saw a black comic on the show, you saw a black comic that was really, really watered down.
Look, here's the deal. If you found $100 on the floor, right, would you just walk by? No, you pick it up. You're not a moron. Of course you're going to pick it up. You pick it up, and guess what? You're going to go home, and you're going to be watching football, and you're going to be like, oh, this is who I want to win. Then they win. You're sitting there with nothing because you walked by $100 on the floor. You didn't put it on the game. You're a moron. All you got to do is go to mybookie.ag today. If you go today and you put in STORE as a promo code, store, that spells store, in case you didn't know it. Store, STORE. Look, here's the thing. You can bet one team, right? And then all of a sudden halfway through be like, hey, I want to bet the other team. You can do that. How great is that? You can change it up. Do a parlay. Have a parlay party. Everybody's a parlay. And everything's exciting because you win. You're going to be watching the game anyway. Why not make it more exciting?
Damn right.
It's really exciting if you have money on the game.
Yes.
It really is. It makes you angry, makes you tense, makes you exciting. It's exciting. So go to mybookie.ag today. Put in store as a promo code. STORE. You can't spell store? I'll punch you right in the face. Do it right. Watching a football game is more exciting if you have money on it. Look, you can just do the smart thing. If you're gonna bet this football season, bet with MyBookie. Don't be a moron. You know that. If you're gonna do it this season, don't waste time. These people, you win, you play, you win, you get paid. It's that simple. It's that easy. You win, you don't have to chase a bookie down. No, they just pay you. It's that easy. So why not go there and get paid? Hello, get paid. mybookie.ag. Go today. Use promo code STORE, STORE. Get your shit together. I was just going to say, like, clean
You
cut.
got to wear, you know what I'm
like,
saying? And I'm not
uppity,
I'm not
whatever the
against-
words are.
Exactly. I'm not against any of that, but
Sure.
it wasn't like the pulse of Black America. It wasn't the pulse of Black comedy. And it's so funny because your agent went through that with the agency, and that's just an example of sometimes the industry don't know shit.
Exactly.
And at that time, in the what was it, like late '90s, like mid '90s, there was no comedy scene bigger than the black comedy scene.
Absolutely.
You could go on.
He was a huge part of that because he started like in the mid 80s.
100%. And it was the only circuit where the Def Comedy Jam was so powerful. It was like literally, this was when before binge watching, before you could download things, you had to wait.
Go out or
you had to wait.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when it goes to like the club scene and everything, you didn't go anywhere think about anything until after you watched Def Comedy Jam.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, 12 o'clock, we want to go out, but we got to wait for Def Comedy. It was a half hour. And that show was it just was electric. It was explosive. But the bad thing about it was you saw a lot of comics, their only glory was the 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. So what's happening is that Def Comedy Jam was making, I won't say household names, but people very popular that didn't put the work in to be established headliners.
Right.
So what was going on was that you get these guys, and the best thing they did was on Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? So now
they got to stretch 45 minutes to an hour.
And then they're trying to milk that one joke forever. And then there was an example of, you had a lot of the guys with the nicknames, like the Sugar Duck Quack Quacks.
Yes.
And it was so funny, when I first started comedy, you would go.
Did you do Def Jam?
Yeah, I did Def Jam.
Oh, okay, cool.
When I first, when I started doing comedy, with the whole name, like stage name, I would go to places and they'd be like, "Okay, what's your name?" Donnell Rawlings. "Okay, what's your stage name?" I'm like, "Donnell Rawlings." They're like,
"Oh,
no.
Oh,
What's your Shucky Quack Quack name?" I'm like, "I'm Donnell Rawlings." But if you look at where comedy went or whatever, it's not a lot of those guys that had those nicknames and still standing around, especially after 25 years.
True, because they didn't have what it took.
Didn't have what it took.
No, what year did you start doing stand-up?
I had to start, it probably was like 94, 95.
Okay, so did you start because of Martin?
No.
I mean, like, was that your inspiration?
I didn't start because of Martin, but I was just, in fact, I was in the Air Force, right? I was a police officer in the Air Force, and I was waiting to be a D.C. police officer in D.C., and then at the time I took a interim job of I was head of security for a grocery chain called Safeway.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people that I worked with, they used to go to comedy clubs just for fun, because there was a guy by the name of Mike Washington. He worked for Hostess, and he would give out free tickets to the show where I worked.
Okay.
So everybody said, "Yo, we going to the comedy show, we go to the comedy show." So they invited me to the comedy show, and I went. I started heckling, and I became a notorious heckler. I mean, I was so good at heckling that professionals would come up to me before they went on and said, "Listen, man, I'm trying to work on some new stuff. Could you not fuck with me tonight?" I'm like, "It's your job to try to make us laugh. It's my job to try to make this audience laugh." And the club owner dared me to go on stage. I went on stage, and the first time I went on stage, I caught a standing O. And I don't think it's just because there's no joke. There's no joke that a new jack can come up that deserves a standing O. But I think the reason it happened because people had followed me.
They already knew.
They knew, and they were rooting for me. You know what I mean? They were like, people were really excited about, he has to graduate from asshole to at least trying to do stand-up. And the first time I went on, and I had no comedy etiquette. I didn't know what the red light meant.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're heckling, you're fucking...
I didn't know anything. I didn't know what the red light meant. Because a black
I'm going to heckle you tonight, see what happens.
Nah, you don't want to do that. I'm an assassin now. And I love you too much. I would never...
It's funny, though.
I would just take my licks, literally and figuratively speaking. So when they put that red light on the first time I went on stage, I'm a black guy. You say red light, that means stop, police coming, whatever. So I didn't know it meant wrap it up. So they gave me the red light, and I was like, "Oh, shit, they telling me I got to get out here." Everybody, woo, bring them back. And it was that day, damn near 24 years ago, and I never thought about doing anything. You know how things happen in your life?
Sure.
Like, this is what I'm going to do. You know, it wasn't a job with any type of security or anything, but it was just something I was like, man, I love this. But to your question about Martin Lawrence, it inspired me. When I saw You So Crazy, then when I saw him come to the Comedy Connection Greenbelt where I started, I was looking at him like, man, this dude, the things that he talked about was almost everything that I talk about, how I feel, the hood and everything. But he was just so likable, and he was just so authentic, and it wasn't nothing like super, super witty. He talked about things that everybody thinks
silly.
Of. Yeah, silly stuff.
To me, I think that's better.
Stuff.
Fun.
And it was fun.
It's real.
But I used to always say, man, that dude is funny. He's funny naturally. And I said to myself, he's funny the way I'm funny. Not that I'm like him or anything, but like just the things that he would talk about. Mm-hmm. But that was one of the guys that, especially the era, late 90s, who wasn't in love with Martin Lawrence as a stand-up and as a
I
comedian?
agree. One of the nicest people, too, on the planet.
So
by
dope,
the way.
man. So
yeah.
cool. And could be an asshole. Something about fame and money can change your personality, but everything that I know about Martin, couple times I met him, and people I know have been around him always been a stand-up guy, good guy.
And he take care of his people. Like he's got a crew that he's been with since the beginning. And he puts them in his movies.
You know, especially with black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start the chicken
No,
circuit.
I think every people. I got to be honest. I know.
Well, I'll just put it like this. When you say your people, I meant your people like skin tone.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You're talking
okay.
about your people like staff and the people you work with. I'm talking about skin tone.
Right. I see what you mean.
So often, especially a lot of people.
I was thinking just celebrities in general.
No. I mean,
cut people out.
African Americans.
Okay,
you know,
I got you. Don't
you know,
get
like
cocky.
normally you see it, you start, and a dude has a group, a posse, whatever, and after a while, it
dwindles.
It starts dwindling, and then Wu-Tang Clan comes in, and once Wu-Tang Clan come in, it's hard to break. But Martin is one of those guys that stay true to
kept him.
Kevin Hart is another one.
Yeah, I believe that.
Kevin Hart,
that's a North Philly boy. Yeah,
I've never seen somebody, a black guy with that type of success that has still so many black people around him that are qualified and doing a good job.
I think like Martin, people like Bentley and all those guys. Like Bentley's got a show now. I think I can't think of the name of it, but it's like they're still in they're still working, and they were all the people that worked with him the Martin show and the.
That's one thing that's so dope about getting a breakout show. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to start the show. Then you have other people to the show that get love.
Yeah.
You got the producers, you got costume, you got everything. And once you got a banger show on your resume, it definitely helps you get your next gig.
Oh, absolutely. So who other were your influences other than Martin? I mean, just curious.
It's weird when I say this. Well, people that I really appreciated it's not weird, but black guy saying is Louis Anderson.
Oh, I love that.
And the thing that I liked about Louis Anderson, because Louis Anderson is the guy with wordplay. Like, he doesn't waste any words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people, like, they have all this filler shit. He doesn't waste words. And then, like, a guy of his stature doesn't move around a lot. To be able to be so expressive with just his face, like, you don't have to move.
His
and
energy
you can
still comes out.
You're
right. You're absolutely
you know what I mean?
right.
It's
Yeah,
like,
now that I'm thinking of it.
If you zoom in on him, you probably, if you did like a time lapse of him on stage, you like, when is he going to say something? You know what I mean? You don't get like the moving around, the slapping of the mic and all that. You just get a person that knows the words to use and knows how to use his facial expression, his voice, and everything. And I just thought he was a master of that. I really enjoyed George Carlin coming up because he was a guy that didn't care about what anybody thought about him.
Well, sure.
He's going to say what he wants to say.
Yeah.
And then I'm from an era like, and the guy that you're really, really close to, like when I was still like, before I even started doing comedy, Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay's, man, I don't know. That's the only white dude that had every black person in the fucking hood quoting his shit. Hickory dick, go! Yo, we used to get leather jackets and shit. That dude
hilarious.
Was just an animal, man.
You know his favorite thing? He's like, I'll go to a black club before I go to a white club any day of the week because they love my shit. Like,
yeah, it's energy. And you got
I don't know what it is, but it's true. Anytime we go somewhere, if it's like predominantly black, they're like, Dice. Like they lose their
Dice
shit.
Dice is energy. And then the black audience, like, no disrespect to any audience.
Sure.
But like a lot of times, white audience, like, you could rip and you don't really hear it from them until after the show. They're like, oh my God, I thought you were so amazing. Like, then fucking give me some of those belly laughs. You know what I mean?
Right.
But black audiences, they're tough audience to perform for.
Yes.
But when they love you, you feel it.
You.
It's like ride or die. It feels good.
But this is what my thing is. I opened for him now for a long time.
Yeah, I follow you.
No, I'm just saying this. I love that. But I'm saying that a lot of his crowds, I don't see a lot of black people there.
No.
But yet when we go somewhere, they go ballistic over.
You mean in the audience?
Yeah. I'm like.
Yeah, but it might be a thing of like where they pushing it, where they marketing, like what. Like,
maybe. I mean, more like certain areas. I'll be like, oh, good. Like there's like.
But then I go do shows. I do my media, and then it's like they got me on Jam 102s. You know what I mean? Like late night slow jams 102, the Hit Factory. I'm like, what about that goddamn country station in that top 40? And like, why is it's nothing but black people in my audience because you did Jam 105, the power station where we giving tickets away to see Rihanna and Chris Brown all day. Call us up right now. We're giving away frisbees at the Ford. You know that
exactly.
station.
I love it.
That might be a thing, but people like, but I think everybody. everybody loves dice. Man.
No, I agree. It's amazing. Like we were just in West Nyack a couple weeks ago, and these teenagers came over, and the kid had a shirt that said "Virginity Rocks," and we were like, "What the hell?" And he goes, "Hey, Dice, we don't want to bother you." And Andrew was like, "What?" Like,
how did that happen?
He got nervous. He was like, "What did I do?" Like, and the guy
he
goes,
started thinking about those women
fans.
and shit like that. He's like, "This fuck. How old was she?" This little 50-year-old kid, like, you fucked my
father.
sister. You fucked my girlfriend. That's off with R. Kelly playing in the background.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but Dice is definitely a legend.
But the little kids came up, and Andrew goes, "Wait a minute, you know me?" And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, the kid. Yeah, we follow you on Instagram." He goes, "We saw you in another store, and we didn't want to bother you because you were buying sneakers, so we waited." And like they politely waited, and I was like, "These kids are Dice fans. Like, what kind of shit parents?"
But no. I was going to say that shit. But I was doing a show the other day, and this guy came. He said, "Man, I didn't even know you." He said, "My father forced me to watch Chappelle's show."
Shut up.
You know what I'm saying? So if you got a 50-year-old that's a Dice fan,
that's amazing.
It's the history of his parents.
Yeah.
They were like this. You were like, when I was coming up, you're talking about DC Young Fly, but I had this guy named Dice Clay. He was selling out the garden, and he was the shit. Nobody could say anything, and it was back when you could just say what the fuck you wanted. Oh, and then you force it to, and then it goes down another generation.
Sure, but these kids follow him on Instagram, and that was their favorite. They love his videos on Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hilarious.
That's a tough thing.
Like, they don't even know how filthy the man is that they were talking to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, don't.
Oh, they know him different. They look at
that.
Oh my God! So that means that Dice is a YouTuber. They look at him as a YouTuber. You're a YouTuber, bro. But that's the beauty of
this social media,
and it's also like the thing of like, as much as like people that have been in the business for a while, they so upset with some of these guys get so much fame and celebrity from the social media, whatever. But you can reinvent yourself. You can reinvent yourself.
Yeah,
and then you can.
Do you do it? You do the social media?
Yeah, but I don't do it like
you don't go after it.
No, I don't. I love
funny.
It.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know what I mean? Because I'm a very creative person, so it's an outlet. Like my stuff is not like, you're never seeing nothing on my page like that moment when Bae comes up, like that hacky shit that everybody doing.
Oh yeah.
It's not that. My stuff.
Oh, the meme shit. Right?
I do meme stuff, but it's not like there's just a certain style now.
Yes.
They got the jump. The cuts are the same cuts. It's like they got a sound effect. It's like, you know what I mean? I call them the comedians like,
yeah,
cuckoo. Those guys. It's not that. My stuff is like, you could tell it's me doing it. You can tell it's me. I mean, I'll have a week of posting funny content, and then I get in my mushy mode, and it's all about me and my son. So it's like when you go to my page, you get a sense of who Donnell is. You can feel me, my life and everything. Yeah.
You have only one kid?
One.
Nice.
Thought that was gonna go to that about. Yeah,
No.
one son. He just turned 4 August 25th. The love of my life, my sense of purpose, and I'm so happy. And I had my son later in life where I really was settled with the fact that I wasn't going to have kids.
Oh,
no,
really?
It wasn't that smart because I was when I was young, I was reckless. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If it wasn't for that situation that can, I just feel trouble even talking about it now.
Don't.
But when I was out there being really reckless, it was when, like, if someone said they were pregnant, it wasn't even no thought on what the next step was. You know what I'm saying? I look back at it, I get saddened by it.
Interesting.
But I also know that if I would have been having kids way back when all my friends were having kids, I don't know if I'd have been ready. I would have been questioning career versus kid, weed money versus kid. Did I really like this chick I got pregnant versus kid?
Right.
But right now it came to me to the point where I really had, I won't say through the talent, but I wasn't letting it consume me. Because I was just like, you know what, I got a great career, things are good. I got nephews I love. And normally, like, people that, situation like I was in, when you say if you don't have kids, you just bury yourself in your career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You bury it because you say, because ultimately, before I had a kid, that was my 100% happiness. That's where I got my happiness from.
Right.
And I was cool with it. You know what I mean? But then I just got, if they say, whenever something good happens, you always say, I was blessed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you feel it when it really is a blessing.
Yeah, it was a blessing, and it feels good. People always ask the question. But before I had my son, it's like, man, when you have this kid, it's going to be the greatest experience of your life. I'm like, I don't know what your life consisted of, but have you ever had a biracial menage a trois in Cancun? I mean, my son won he didn't win the popular vote.
My son's cool.
Yeah, he all right. You know what I'm saying?
He all right. Like,
he's not Ebony and Ivory living together in perfect harmony. Not at all. But my son is here. I love him to death, man. He's just everything to me.
That's amazing, though. A menage a trois in Cancun. So wait, you started in D.C.? That's where you started. And how did you get out of the Air Force? Like, how do you?
My enlistment was up.
Ah, okay. So you only served
I served you have 4-year enlistment.
4.
Sometimes people, I don't know who in the hell would just commit to 8 years out the gate without feeling how it was. But it was a 4-year enlistment, and I thought about staying in because me going to the military, I wasn't really that good in school. Not that I was dumb or anything.
But you're in the Air Force. You got to be a little bit smarter.
Yeah, you
That's not like a Marine where they're just like,
yeah, but then it all
you know how to
comes
kill
down
this person, right?
Right. It comes down to your ASVAB test. So, no matter what branch you score.
You have to test, right?
Yeah. Air Force, out of all the branches, people consider it the most prestigious branch.
Right. Or the Navy.
The Navy,
they're usually neck and neck, the smarter ones, if you will.
They don't have the grunt jobs.
No offense, Dad.
Your dad was in the military?
Listen. My dad was a Marine, yeah. He fought in Korea.
Oh my God! So does he still talk like a Marine?
Absolutely.
Like everything is like I need some dinner for Thanksgiving.
Correct, girl.
Yeah.
What?
Marines, anything they talk in letters and numbers. What was your job? 9-2 Bravo Charlie Foxtrot me.
His name's Charlie. Too.
Yeah, Marines. But I'm not going to front. The Marines.
They're bad. They're bad people.
They're badass. My skill. I was a police officer, so MP, law enforcement special, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you go to your basic training. Then you go to technical school. Technical school is when you learn whatever trade or whatever you want to do. And as for police officers, the Marines and the Air Force, they train together.
Okay.
And that was kind of cool, but they used to talk shit about us. We used to talk shit about them.
Oh, my dad goes crazy.
I know. The worst thing, he would appreciate this story. So the Marines, they had the macho theme song.
Okay.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. It was tough. It made you want to fight. Somebody was going to stab, kick ass, or whatever. But the Air Force song was gay as shit. Nothing's anything wrong being gay, but the song was like, off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high. The Air Force song felt like you was auditioning for Glee, man. And I'm telling you, if your dad could hear that story right now, he'd be like, this. I love this guy. I'm going to
call him tomorrow and tell him he'll love that.
He'll be like, there's so much truth in that, but that's the truth.
Because he would say, like, I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this word, but at this point, I don't give a shit. But he would say about the Navy, well, those are the faggots that give us the ride. I'm like, inappropriate.
I don't know.
Inappropriate. But
I don't know how they got
that name.
But anything, like if I went on stage, I was like, any Navy here, they'd be like, yeah. I'm like, no, any real Navy. I don't know how they got that persona of being like the soft branch, whatever, what people always say. And I'm pretty sure I guess you can say, your dad said it. Your dad's older. That was a generation.
83, yeah.
That was a generation where those was transitional words.
Right.
It's like, I like that guy. People always make the argument about what word you can say, what words. I say what word in particular, like the N word. When you use that, when you talk to somebody that's 80, and you talk to somebody that likes 20, they're never, ever, ever, ever going to understand or agree with anything. Because you got one generation that grew up when the word was used to really hurt you.
Yeah.
And it's something totally negative. But then you talk to somebody that's a rapper, whatever, it's a whole different thing. So that's one of those things that will always be argued with, but there's nothing you can do about it. And it is what it is.
It is what you're right. And the 80 and the 20-year-old, neither
and
one
black
of
people,
them.
we tried to find a word to compete with the N word. The closest we got was cracker, but it didn't flow.
Peckerwood.
Nah, man, that don't even
but
sound.
if you go to jail, like as a white person, like you have to stay with the woods. That's a
I
whole
don't even
thing.
see it. I don't even think that's like, you can't say that. Like,
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
we tried so hard with cracker.
Scary.
We tried to make cracker work so much that the one cracker didn't work. So you had to put another one. Like I think it means more if you say cracker ass cracker. You know what I'm saying? Like
cracker
that.
Ass cracker.
Yeah, cracker ass cracker.
That's
like
a good
this.
one.
Cracker's no thing. Like, did you call me the double cracker? You know what I'm saying? There's no word that we could get to even come close to competing with that.
Did you put ass in between crackers?
Cracker ass cracker.
Cracker
you gotta
ass
have
cracker.
You gotta
What's
have a
that
flow.
from? Who did that? Was it Eddie Griffin? Cracker ass cracker.
Man, it sounded like something George Jefferson would have did.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
What do you get? Yeah, because that's another
thing. No,
thing.
honky was his word.
Honky. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Honky's a good one.
But it don't. You know where it came from, right?
Honky?
Yeah.
No.
Way back in the day, I can't what year this was, but anyway, when white guys used to come and try to solicit black prostitutes, they wouldn't really go to where they were. They would just stay like in the cut, and they would honk.
Oh.
And that's where honky came from.
That's
I'm pretty sure if you Google it, like the origins of honky, it'll probably come up the same way. Might be a little twisted a little bit, but that's what it is.
I heard something crazy last night. Byron Bowers was talking about he shot a movie in North Philly.
Oh my God, him and his punk ass movie. We get it. No,
stupid.
I'm joking. I think Byron Bowers is doing spots just to tell he could tell people he did a movie.
Him.
He's a good
but
guy.
what he was talking about was, these cowboys, these urban cowboys. They're like concrete cowboys, they call them. And in North Philly, they have them in abandoned buildings. They have horses, like a stable in an abandoned building. And so whatever, they're doing a movie about it. So we were talking about it, and I said, when I see like a black, like especially in Philly, there's a guy dressed in like an Adidas suit on a horse. That's hilarious. Like, it just, I don't know. It's just two worlds colliding.
But not that Lil Nas and open that world right over.
Yeah. But to me, because I'm from South Philly, so I'm like, what the fuck? What's he doing on a horse? So it doesn't make sense. So then Byron said cowboy came from because the slaves were the boys. So they were the cowboys.
Right.
And I didn't know that. I never even wouldn't even put that together, because cowboys,
you know what this means? You need to date a black guy, so you could.
My father's still alive. I'm not trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Come
That's
on,
like,
man.
that would be.
You're stupid.
But those are the type of white chicks that black guys go for. You know what? Like this, is there a chance of you losing your trust fund? Now, ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna do this? Oh my God, Philly, and he's 83. Yeah, let me stay away from that.
Yeah. My dad.
He'd laugh. He liked that Marine joke until he liked.
Oh, he would.
You like that joke so much, Dad? Meet Donnell.
You brought a colored guy here?
He was like, what in the Sam's hell? You know, you got to name a name or something. What in the Sam's hell is going on here?
Wait, you speak different languages, too.
Not really. I speak Korean conversation level.
That's insane. No, it's not.
I'll just be like, I speak more Korean than the average black guy that is being followed in that same store. You know what? I'll say that. But no, it's nothing like.
How the hell did you learn Korean?
I was in the Air Force, and I was stationed in Kunsan, Korea. And I used to work like the front gate, and we worked 12-hour shifts, and it would be 2 Americans and 2 Korean guys, because we were protecting the perimeter and we checked the IDs coming in. So if you work with somebody for 12 hours, you're going to get sick of staring at them.
That's true.
And you want to communicate with them, so we would share words and sit down and help each other with it.
Try to communicate,
Yeah, but it was enough for me to be able to go downtown, and a hooker couldn't cheat me out of money.
Ah, there you go.
And,
the key words to learn. I always learn the curse words, like Spanish and Thai.
I go like hapshida omayo. That's how much for some pussy.
Sanuk.
You know what I'm saying? And then you like, and then they tell you the price. I go pisayo. That means that's too expensive. But you gotta say it like you're totally frustrated, like this. I go pisayo. Regular Hyundai. Hyundai is no. And it's got to come from your throat. Hyundai.
You want a Honda?
Yeah, like a Hyundai. Hyundai.
Yeah, all the bartenders were Thai. When Mitzi first started here, she only trusted Thai guys. So when I would wait tables here for years, I'd be getting drinks and they yelling and shit. I'm like, what are you guys talking? What are you saying? Right. Is it me? What is it?
It was Thai guy. You were like, what are you Chinese guys saying?
Yeah.
That's so wrong, man. Yeah. Oh my God. See, that's so funny. This is how comedy is supposed to do. That was a funny joke. It came natural, whatever. But as soon as I said, I was like this, who's going to be pissed about that?
Oh, not our fans. We even if they hate us, like they hate what we say, they tell us. We don't care. Right. We invite haters. We invite lovers. All of it.
Man, I love.
Everybody needs to be happy.
I love what this club has.
No, when was your first time coming to the Comedy Store?
Well, the first time ever coming here.
I
think I was probably doing comedy for 3 months.
Oh, shit.
And I was here with my family. We went to Disneyland, Anaheim, wherever.
Anaheim, I think it is.
And then I just came here. My uncle was with me, and he knew I wanted to be a comedian. I was doing everything to be a comedian at the time. Let's go to the comedy club. So we came here, and he was like, I'm going to get you on.
Hilarious.
Because he had a lot of money.
Okay.
So he thought it was going to be like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? here's $1,000 to put the guy on, right? He didn't know the whole process of being passed, whatever.
Right.
And I was trying to tell him, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? He's like a street guy. I'm like, nah, you can't do that. And then I saw Paul Mooney on stage. And I was like, I've never seen
one of my favorites, by the way.
A performer walk half of an audience.
Unbelievable.
I was like, is he really talking to these white people the way he's talking to them and in their face? I didn't know like he was like, yo, nigga, crack. Oh yeah, it's crack. And I told nigga,
I say it every morning. It makes my teeth white.
Yo, and I was I was watching him like, oh my God, that was the first time. That was the first time that I ever came to this club, and then I was never passed in here. And like when I started.
Did you get a showcase, or did you when you came with your uncle? Did you get on in the belly room or anything?
No, I didn't get on anywhere.
Okay,
it was just like
door guys would have taken your money and put you on in the belly room.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that, and they would have. Yeah, no, like go upstairs.
We got this little room upstairs.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know about it. But it was just like
Why is it so dark? You're fine.
I was just mesmerized by a guy that could have the voice he had and not worry about anybody thinking, and half the audience was laughing at it. Half this stuff was offended, but he didn't give a shit. And he just
that was my favorite thing about Mooney is that he never ever gave a shit. He would call me because I was Mitzi's assistant, so I was here all if he wanted his checks cashed. My favorite thing about Mooney is that he was ghetto every day of the week. Like there was never like, oh, I don't like. He would be like, I need my check cashed, and then I got to go pay my phone bill. I'm like, no, you're Paul Mooney. What are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, I would bump into him at line at the gas company. I'm like, no. Like,
he can't be gangster. He's like, I'm going to do this.
But we became such good friends, and he would always, the white lady. I don't think he knew my name. I'm going to be real honest. He always called me the white lady.
He called everybody the white lady.
He would call here and be like, put the white lady on the phone. They'd be like, which one?
That's all of them.
Mitzi? Like, who are you calling? You know the white lady.
Such a legend.
And they would come in the kitchen and be like, I think Mooney wants you on the phone.
The white lady? Yeah, he's a very, it was cool to get to know him when I was doing Chappelle Show. But
yes, that's
outspoken voice, strong guy, and just awesome talent.
So
they say some shit about him in the streets right now, though.
What? Who
is? You didn't hear about oh my God, you didn't hear about that?
I'll knock the shit out of them. Who's talking about Mooney?
No,
I'm kidding.
So one of the guys, one of them shows, said there was a rumor that Richard Pryor had a hit out on
Mooney.
On Mooney.
Okay.
Because.
I believe it, but I don't believe he had a hit on him. I believe he just started talking shit because of a rumor or because of a knowing or whatever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Mooney's a very open person.
Oh yeah, but that story
quietly.
The story of it is so. To me, it's just like, whoa, when does it stop? The rumor has it is that Paul Mooney fucked Richard Pryor's son.
Right.
Right. And I was like, that's a fucked up story. I was like, wait a minute, but there's another rumor that said Richard Pryor fucked Paul Mooney.
So many rumors.
So many rumors.
And I'm like, you talking about so hard. You wouldn't know.
You talking about the ultimate payback. You want to fuck me, I'm fucking your son. And then, oh man, it's just over. But then again, now I'm not saying then again, but back then motherfuckers had certain type of drugs that make motherfuckers just feel free to do whatever.
Mitzi would tell me about parties at her house and like the aftermath, and she'd be like, we just had to get somebody in here to clean it up. And I'm like, what? Like, what happened?
Right.
But it was so much like, I know I'm very close to Jennifer Pryor, Richard's wife. Like, there were so many things. And even at Mitzi's memorial, Jennifer was like, I never forgave Mitzi for fucking Richard. And I'm like, wait, what? No, I this isn't the time.
Oh, my God.
So there's so many stories come up when people get older. My favorite person on the planet was a guy named David Banks.
Whenever somebody's about to die, stay away from them. They're going to tell all your truths. You're going to tell
all your shit.
Yeah.
It's all coming out. Like, I hope Mooney didn't type a lot. You know what I mean?
I never forgave Mitzi for fucking Richard. Richard was fucking everybody.
She was on stage. I go, Jennifer, just get to.
Right.
It's about me. All right.
Oh, she said that in the thing? Oh my God, they go hard in the paint.
Look who's here, Ricky.
So disrespectful to me.
Look,
so disrespectful.
Ricky,
thank you for having me on the podcast.
He did text.
Yeah, no, just fucking.
He's blacker than us. That's
why
you
did. You like super. And you know what's so funny? I tried to be on CP time.
Yeah,
he did,
I was still early and shit. Man.
I figured once I got the diabetes, I have free range.
Nah, you can't just say you got diabetes.
That's
you gotta
type 1 though.
You gotta get.
You're not on the right team.
You gotta get amputated. Yeah, you love that Popeyes, that sweet tea. Well, you gonna pay for it when you fucking really down with hip hop years later.
But he's type 1. So
type 1.
That's not right.
Oh yeah, that's white diabetes.
Shit.
Yeah, that's white diabetes.
It's like Scandinavian shit.
That's not like the sugar.
Yeah,
you know the sugar is black
when you got
diabetes.
the sugars.
Yeah, you got the sugar.
I was borderline a couple years ago. That's how black I am.
Damn,
it's great. It's my favorite thing. Both my parents have.
My son and them. My son's talking about daddy. He everything is he tried to be health conscious about everything. He was like, Daddy, apple juice. He said it's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. He said it's too sweet. I was like, bruh, you go, and I hate to say this, white people get really mad when I say this. When we go to McDonald's, right?
What?
Yo, I like McDonald's.
Still?
I'm like, son, your order is Happy Meal chicken nuggets. He says extra.
Extra chicken nuggets?
No. Extra honey mustard sauce and a sweet tea.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's just his mom. She's Latin, half Latin. I'm like, how the fuck is my son ordering a goddamn and a sweet tea?
Damn.
But then criticizing me about apple juice, man.
Yeah, that's
apple juice
bullshit.
is sugary, but as a kid, it was like that was the healthy shit.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh,
yeah,
this makes my heart stop.
I gave
Maybe
my daughter apple
it.
juice. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's juice. My wife's like, you can't give her that. I'm like, why?
He's got a 3-year-old.
Yeah, my son just turned 4.
Yeah.
I just had a what is your daughter into right now? What's the thing?
She's into Muppet Babies and just being a terrorist.
She's no Paw Patrol, no Ryan's.
Oh, Paw Patrol,
she likes Paw Patrol, yeah.
I did a party for my son Sunday, and I know this is so racist and fucked up, but yeah, whatever.
Who cares? There's
one thing, like, you know, when you have a kid party, you don't really care if the parents show up.
Right.
You need kids.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing is your kid to have a party and it's
feel like
all adults and no kids.
Yeah.
But I realized if you invite 30 black kids to a kid's party, you probably get 30 parents. Right?
Yeah.
You invite 30 white kids, you get like 65, 70
parents.
That's
doubling up.
Yo, you get
step parents are there.
Yo, you get nannies, au pairs. What are the motherfuckers called? The fly word for a nanny, a pair, a par, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Swedish hooker. All right. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? You get that shit, but when you invite black people, it's like this. Okay, you gonna take Ray Ray to the party, or am I gonna take him?
Yeah,
but
right.
They was showing up with parents.
Can we drop him off?
And they wanted to sign release forms and shit. And then I had to order different drinks and shit. Like where I would get like Capri Sun, I'm getting honest everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like water, like everything. Yeah. Like what's in that? Is that gluten free? I'm like, yo, it's a fucking eat this cake and get the fuck out the party. Let's sing happy birthday.
What's the pH level on this water?
Yeah, you're like, get out of here.
Shut the fuck up. I can't. Yeah, I've been to some of those white parties, if you will. Ugh.
They still invite you to white parties?
Well, it's a kid party,
Sure.
and my friend Lauren and her husband, they have 2 kids, and they're very wealthy, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to, it was her birthday party, the mother, my friend Lauren, and she invited her friends with the kids because they have a pool, and it was just ridiculous.
Crazy.
The nannies, the fucking
everything,
the whole shebang, and I'm like,
you got payroll.
Yeah,
you got payroll at the goddamn kids'
You got
party.
to rent another place.
But it was the dopest thing. And like and I had my son's into Paw Patrol, and I did something in Toronto a while ago, and I met a voice actor that happened to know one of the Paw Patrol cast people.
Right.
And they did a personalized happy birthday to my son.
Nice.
And it was so funny because, you know, in Hollywood, you have a kids' party. It's definitely like a networking session.
Sure.
It was agents and producers there and shit. And, you know, and I just wanted to shit on all the parents. You know what I'm saying? You know, the only way you shit on parents, like the cake fucking, like, I've never been married. So every time I have a birthday party, I basically try to do a wedding cake.
Smart. Yeah.
For my son. It's like, damn, that look a wedding cake. That's the closest you gonna get, bitch. Right? But then, then it was a time for to sing happy birthday. So I had the file of the birthday greeting, and I made sure everybody was quiet. And it was like, "Hi, Austin. I heard you have so and so. You know who this is?" I can't say who it was because they could get in trouble. It's like from Paw Patrol, and I was looking at it. Then it played one time, and I didn't get the ooh ahs. I was like,
the response.
Is this mic on? Like, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Everybody else said, be quiet. And then the kids look at the fucking kids look at their parents like, you don't know anybody from Paw Patrol, Dad. You're fucking shit. It was so I made the rewind. I even did a remix like Paw Patrol. But it's a dope thing. It's a dope feeling.
My dad's a loser. He bought me a brand new car, but he doesn't know the Paw Patrol people.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you. Years ago, I had a really short scene in Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It was at the beginning. It was
I think I auditioned.
I want to call it an iconic role.
Sure.
People would call it a reaction shot or reaction. But it was a scene where, well, I only have to describe the scene, but anyway, I was in Spider-Man 2. And at the time, all of my friends had like young kids. And one of my friends, I remember this, he said, he was talking to his daughter, right? And his daughter said, Daddy, you think you could get Donnell to introduce me to Spider-Man?
Oh.
Right. And what a father to his response was like, well, babe, I know Spider-Man too. And she looked at him like, yeah, Dad, I know, but Donnell worked with Spider-Man. like you know him the way I know him from comic books and the movie, but Donnell like has a relationship. Like I'll hang around in Brooklyn with Spider-Man. It's like, yo, we're gonna go over here and meet Nigel, man. This is my friend's daughter. Spider-Man, meet Nigel. Nigel meets Spider-Man. But it was like, and at the time it was like, when that movie came out with all my friends' kids, they was looking at me like, you know this sound right here. Whoa!
Yeah.
Yo, a whoa.
That feels good.
It's like a standing ovation when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Like a whoa or a wow and an expressive one like, whoa!
They get so excited.
Like white nannies. White nannies?
Yo,
I'm going to get a white nanny. I'm going to get a white
nanny.
nanny. I'm going to get a white nanny. White nanny. And I used to like, this was before I had kids. I was like, why is everything so... But you have to be that way with kids.
Yeah.
White nanny, when they teach ABCs like A, B, C. Black nanny's like this, A, B. Motherfucker, you gonna get it right. How many times I gotta tell you? It's A, B. You know the song, motherfucker. But the white nanny's like, here we go. We're going over the bridge. You gotta act. Yo, I'm telling you. Do a recording.
I never had a nanny
of a black kid,
just an actual nanny,
like a black babysitter, a white babysitter, and how they do bedtime stories. It's like just go to bed, motherfucker, hickory dickory, blah, 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 blah. White people like this, and then the water came down and thunder. You gotta act the whole shit out, man.
It's like a mini play.
I feel so bad because we obviously can't afford a nanny, so I'm taking care of the kid, and all the kids she goes to preschool with are rich as fuck and have nannies, and the kids all seem so much better, well-rounded. My daughter's just generally angry, which I'm like, all right, that's my fault probably.
My son goes to a private preschool, and I know,
Jesus.
My son did something, and he thinks it's funny. He is funny, and I know the difference in how he was raised and I was raised. The other day I was leaving the crib, and he slammed the door, bam, like slammed it hard. The type of slam, like when I was growing up, my mother would have been like, okay, you about to get your ass whooped.
Right.
I can't beat my son. Or I can't pop him because he goes to a private preschool and he'll snitch.
Yep. Word will get out.
Private school, they train kids to snitch on their parents.
Yeah.
They sit down
You're
and
right.
They sit down like this.
Right.
So what is frustrating about your father? You know. And then when I slam the door, and like I don't pop him. I don't know. I popped my son twice. The only time I did. The only time I did is because it was a situation like if he does something that I think could cause him bodily harm or get him hurt, I don't have time to sit down and reason with you or try to explain it. You know what I'm saying?
Reactionary.
It's reactionary. Like we were on the sidewalk one time. He acted like he was about to dart away from me toward the street, and I popped him. I don't have time to be like, you can be hit by a car. I gotta make you almost shit on yourself with the thought of
make him aware
that.
now.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree.
So when he slammed the door, I came and I said, but I threw a swear word in there. That was my version of a pop.
Thundering, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, don't you ever do that shit again. And he looked at me like this, I'm frustrated with you, Dad.
No.
He ain't say this nigga here. You know what I'm saying? he said, I'm frustrated with you, Dad. I was like, okay, well, you know what? You got a long time to be frustrated with me because I'm not going to stop being your dad, right?
That's hilarious.
So I left and I called back. His mom answered the phone or whatever. And I was like, what's going on? He said, she said, Austin is upset with you. I'm like, oh my God, are you down with this private school shit too? What the fuck do you mean? He's like, Austin's upset with you. And I said, I don't give a shit again. But I was like, how do you know that? She said, because of the things that he said about you. And I'm like, this, I don't want to hear it. But you know what? Let me hear what this guy had to say. I said, what did he say? She said, you're going to get mad. Then she said, my son said, I want Daddy to pack his things and go to New York. And I said to myself, that sounds like something you said, right? She said, my son said, I want Daddy to pack his stuff, move to New York. I'm frustrated with Daddy. And then he said, and Daddy is invisible to me.
Damn.
Let me tell you something. As a dad, I was excited and upset at the same time. I was upset that he could actually say that, but I was excited that he actually said that. Because I'm like, when this dude gets into a roasting match on the fucking playground, he's going to hurt some feelings.
Yeah.
Like that, the line, the sentence,
invisible?
The structure of it, any adult could use that.
Yeah.
You could tell anybody, you know what, pack your shit, go to New York, I'm frustrated with you, and you're invisible to me. Invisible.
Jeez. Yeah.
But I'm petty, and I play too much. So when he was like, you're invisible to me, I was like, oh, you know what? It would be so fitting if I could be a bit invisible right before your birthday. Right before Christmas is another time to be invisible.
Yeah.
Let's pick these times to be invisible. So when I came home.
Does he laugh? Does he laugh when you say like stuff like that? Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, he's funny. So when I came home, I'm standing in front of the bed, and I'm like, all right, let me see if he can see me. I got my arms out like,
yeah.
You know, he might try something invisible. If I put my arms out like this, no, I'm not invisible. And I said, Austin, am I still invisible to you? He said, no, Daddy. I said, why? He said, because I love you.
Aww.
And I was like, oh, but I'm petty as shit. I was ready to do this invisible beef. My son's he's a snack head.
Okay.
You know, he loves Skittles.
Okay.
You know, that's his thing whenever he could try to sneak one. So when he was beefing me and I was invisible, I already had a pack of Skittles in my pocket. I'm like this. Oh, I'm invisible? I'm like, I'm about to eat the whole bag of Skittles, one Skittle at a time. And I was going to be like, I know he would have been like, Daddy, can I have a Skittle? I'm like, I'm invisible. But he's so quick, he'd be like, yeah, but I can still see the Skittles.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
the candy's still there.
But he knows what I do for a living.
Yeah.
He thinks he's funny. He tells his friends all the time. He's a comedian. The other day, he said he had a shovel whenever we go to the beach.
Okay.
And he said, put the shovel close to me. He said, Daddy, I dig you.
Damn.
No, then he said, get it?
Oh, I love
like,
him.
You know, as comedians, he said, Daddy, I dig you. Get it? Dig you? I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker's a monster, man.
I love him. Yeah. Oh my God.
And my daughter, she'll go, my daddy's a comedian. And then I go, do you know what that means? She goes, yeah, you tell jokes like Fozzie Bear. I'm like,
that's
damn,
hilarious.
that's
my son says wokes. He tells wokes. I said, whenever I'm going on the road, I'm on the road all the time. He said, Daddy, where you going? I said, I'm going on the road. He said, I want to go on the road and tell wokes with you, Dad.
Aww.
I said, do you got any wokes? He said, yeah. I said, what? He said, caca.
Damn. It is an oldie but a goodie.
No, look, I said, that's it. He was like, no. I said, what? He said,
I'm open.
That's right. That's a writing session for 3 or 4 years old. You got 5 kindergarten, like preschools. I sit down.
Yeah.
All right, so how are we going to do the caca bit, right?
Yeah.
So a couple of months ago, I was at Montreal Comedy Festival, and he came out to see me. And he's been to some shows before, like early shows. So I'm backstage. I mean, I'm on stage. He's behind the curtain. He can hear the audience. He can't see him. Audience don't even know he's back there. But he could hear the laughter. And I'm on stage killing the audience. Killing him. He's looking at me like, this motherfucker funny as shit. He didn't really say that, but his body language, if he could say that, he would say
right.
He was like, yo, this motherfucker's ripping. He's ripping. And then to the audience, I said, shit. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I meant caca. My son looked at me like, did this motherfucker just do my caca bit?
No. No.
Yo, he looked at me and he stopped laughing at my jokes. He was like, man, like, he's all right? And then he looked back at his mom like, I can't believe this motherfucker stole the only bit. I ain't even got a high five.
That's my closer.
That's my closer. That's my opener and my closer. So I brought him on stage. I was like, yo, this is my son, Austin Rawlings, whatever. So I bring him on stage with me. And I pick him up. I said, I love you. Yes, I love you too, Daddy. I said, you got any jokes? He said, yeah. I said, what? He said, And he looked at me like, motherfucker, I was going to do the caca.
I had 2 bits.
Yeah, I had 2 bits. You ain't got no fucking etiquette for that fucking headline, and motherfucker. You know you supposed to say is if he would have came up to me like, if I'd have said, Austin, is there anything that you don't want me to touch, right? Like or anything like that, let
feature.
me know. Yeah.
Anything you don't want me to step.
I hate when features do that shit to me. This motherfucker told me one time, he said, Donnie, is there anything? I'm like, motherfucker, I have hours of jokes.
Do you
got that 10 minutes, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And this is what motherfuckers don't understand. You don't have to ask that question if you just do your shit. That's my son doing the motherfucking caca joke right there.
What is that?
That's my son. Motherfucker infiltrated the fucking line and shit. He's like, Daddy, I got another
color.
Yeah, if you watch a motherfucker, you can get a general idea. But like, I'm like, motherfucker, there's no joke that first of all, whatever joke you're doing 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You probably got 15 minutes worth of jokes.
Right.
There's no jokes that you're going to do that I can't adjust to or whatever. But it's like, is there anything? Your shit ain't even that funny to worry about something I touch, and I just move around it.
Plus, any
kind of
reasonable headliner should be able to
make it funny. Yeah.
Be funny regardless of what.
Whatever. It's like, oh my God, that joke you did about Michael Jackson. Fuck out of here, man. I got 25 years, bro.
So
yeah. I do this bit. I say black people, white people do shit different. That would kill almost every black comic in America. Don't say black people, white people, anything. It's like this. No, it's a difference. Like, we the same, but we different. I like the way black comics try to flip that fucking hacky ass shit.
Oh, you're stupid.
Yo, they like the black people different. No, we the same, but we different. No, we do things different, but we the same. I'm like, that's the same motherfucking setup. Twist it up.
You're amazing. So do you have any? Wait, this is what we were talking about because he came here in '94, and his uncle was going to pay somebody to put him on stage. Didn't happen. But who brought you in? Adam? Did you come in through Tommy?
Adam.
So Adam was like,
okay. He's the one that said the Negro can pass.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a couple of Negroes we're gonna have this year.
Yeah, I didn't know who you met. You never met Mitzi. You never met Tommy.
No, never met. And it's so funny when I first.
Because you're already well established, so it's
it's weird. Not in the stand-up comedy world. I was established in the acting world. Like people.
Yeah.
I only did. I know it sounds crazy. I only had one special. I didn't have a lot of stand-up appearances on television, so people knew me as a dramatic actor because I did The Wire, HBO's The Corner, All Along, and all that stuff, and they knew me. They didn't know me as a stand-up. So when I first came out here, it was like when I first moved here, I would come around and wasn't nobody wasn't on my chalk or anything. I knew I was funny. I was passing the cellar and all these other places.
Sure.
But I wasn't working here. And I was like, damn, what the fuck do you have to do to be here? And I was one of the guys that, Indian dude used to take the veils and shit.
Jay Mandiam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wear glasses.
Mm-hmm. Nice kid.
Yeah. The weird thing was, he was the one that was pushing for me because I let him open for me before, and it was just like one of the things.
He's a good kid, yeah.
He was the one that was like, Donnell. Then the first time I got a spot, it kind of threw me up because the OR room can be very intimidating because it's almost like an audition. I have lights in front of you. And I thought I did okay. Then I got another shot, and I stopped doing it. Next thing you know, I was passed. And it wasn't like me being past the club wasn't a big deal because
You work everywhere.
I work everywhere, but the same way with me getting past the Southern and everything, wherever they said the best comedians were,
you want to be there.
I want to be there. And I used to look at the marquee, and I used to see the names, and not to be insulted to anybody, but I was like this. I know, like, I rock with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then once I got my groove, and then once I got comfortable with the OR, now it's like, it's dope.
Yeah.
But I also saw the Comedy Store come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, when I first moved here, I was like, because, you hear the Comedy Store, you think about good old days, and you think about the parties, you think about everything, and then you're like, what the fuck happened? Did somebody drop a bomb?
There's 20 people in the whole building.
Yeah,
half of them are
and
employees.
there's a lot of motherfuckers that feel like this. It just felt eerie.
Oh, it was.
We
were here
ugly,
working. Trust me,
and
it
then
was
all of a
eerie.
sudden, it just seemed like it just came back like bam. Like right now,
it's like
it's just crazy. Like I even tell people like I come here sometimes just to hang out sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because the energy is just so.
It's
just
way
so
better.
Dope. It feels so good.
Yeah, it's the only club that I want to hang out at.
Yeah.
Like and if I'm just gonna hang out, like
Right.
I don't go to the Improv and just like I bet there's gonna be some cool people here.
Yeah, no.
It's always
And
like,
I
who the
like
fuck
it, but
are
you
these
know,
people?
and I like that room.
Great, yeah.
But this vibe, it just feels so electric. You get the, I mean, it's on
You
Sunset.
work off the energy.
You get
Yeah.
the people like you do a show here, and it feels like you perform for the entire country. You know,
Yeah.
That's how. I don't know what happened or who got fired or who got hired. Whatever happened,
We
it
do.
fucking worked.
Yeah, we
I know you
we
know
who got fired.
You was like, hey.
Wow, we know all about it. Well, you're amazing. Thank you so much. They're yelling at me for time because we went over. But
No,
who
it's
cares?
because I'm black. It's because I'm
It's
black.
'cause he's black.
Fuck that. I haven't
He's
used a race card in
black
32
and-
minutes, man.
Do you have a race card?
I was here. Oh, do
It's
I have a race
that,
card?
it's that Donnell's after Neil, and Neil's not here yet. So,
Oh,
Man,
I got
fuck
you.
Neil. Okay,
Fucking
all right.
Neil. Sexy motherfucker.
So,
Donnell, do you have anything to promote? Otherwise, like dates
Um,
coming up. What do you got? You're amazing.
shit, I don't
Or
even
they-
know my
you just have a website?
DonnellRawlings.com.
There you go.
I'll be September the 12th. I'm doing the next installment of Netflix, The Degenerates.
Nice. Oh, yes, that's great.
That's coming up. That's going to hopefully be my gateway to getting a special. If not, I'm just going to try
Certainly.
to kick ass for 15 minutes and see what the world likes about that.
Yeah, it's Bobby Kelly and Nikki Glazer. A couple
yeah,
people.
and
He
Miss
has a
Pat.
good-
It's gonna
Miss
be dope.
Pat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Other than that, tour dates, DonnellRawlings.com. Kevin Smith has a new movie, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming out this October. Kevin Smith is amazing. Just to
Yeah.
be a part of, I grew up on Jay and Silent
Watching
Bob. So
him,
for some reason,
sure.
for me to get on that, I don't know how the hell it happened. But I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful. And I'm also thankful for anybody that's been following me for the last 24 years of my career. I appreciate you guys. Through the good, the
We
bad, and
love
the
it.
ugly, I will always continue to always give you 100% when you see me live.
You're unbelievable. Thank you so much. For
You know
joining
how I
the
feel
Comedy
about you.
Store
You already know.
podcast. Donnell likes me because I don't press charges. Hey.
The ultimate crowd
She's
lover.
me too, listen. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. Oh.